Hey everyone, first I want to say hello. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and that you all got to spend some quality time with your friends and family. I know I'm thankful for my 3 beautiful kids, my wife Brianna. Obviously I have my son Maverick here with me this week. You know, the unique opportunity to serve you again. I'm glad to have that. I think about it just every time I'm up here. It's such an amazing opportunity. Maverick, do you want to say anything, buddy, before we send you on your way? You want to say anything?
Hello.
Want to say hi to Mommy?
Hello.
All right. Is that it? Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. See you later, alligator. Go on. All right. That's Maverick. Like I said, great to have him up here with me. It's one of the things that is amazing about my wife, that she homeschools our kids so that we get to have a little bit of extra family time, being away pretty much every single Monday through Friday up here in Washington. Great to have that opportunity to let them do their schoolwork sitting at the table here or over at the Library of Congress or something like that, and let them see you know, the mall, the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the Korean Memorial, World War II Memorial, Vietnam Memorial, everything that goes on there. It's really neat. As I always do, I always encourage people, get up here to Washington. If you do get up here to Washington, make sure that you let us know so that we can help make your trip special up here. So back into the legislative business that we did this week. To speak about that, on Thursday, I introduced the Bipartisan Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Reauthorization Act of 2017. We call that basically we call it the WIFIA program for the acronym. And in case you didn't know, the WIFIA program was established in 2014, and it accelerates the investments in water and wastewater infrastructure by issuing loans on certain projects. This bill would not only extend the program until 2024, but it also doubles the authorization to $90 million of what could be for loans as a result of, or rather doubles it to $90 million. So as a result of this new money, the amount available for water infrastructure loans would increase to more than $5 billion in total available for those ecosystem restoration, non-point source solution management projects, estuary conservation projects, and more loans for those programs. So it's a really good program. That means that projects to fix habitats in our community destroyed by discharges and projects to prevent the pollution in the first place could all have access to guaranteed loans that will help to speed up the work. This is just, I think it's a really common sense bill. I'm happy to work on reauthorizing it, and as we've got bipartisan support on this, so I think we're going to be moving full speed ahead to get this one done. On that same note, I had the opportunity to show explicitly exactly how damaging this issue has been to the full Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, to show them the dead fish, the human health impact, the contaminated guacamole-like algal blooms that have been in our area, the harm to businesses, try to explain to them just how badly it smells. I showed them a video where it showed the bugs and everything that was associated with this. You know, as you know, in 2016, when Governor Scott declared an emergency after the federal government discharged billions of gallons of toxic water into our district, the Obama administration denied the emergency declaration, denying us resources that we really could have critically used. So on this Thursday, I showed the committee the great reporting that was done by WPTV showing the destructiveness of this issue, and as a result was able to secure a commitment from the chairman of Water Resources and Environment Committee to work with us to address this algal bloom epidemic and work on it in the Federal Stafford Act, which is where we're trying to work on it, making sure that we can clean this up like other debris that exist out there. It's not the end-all be-all answer, but it's one of those ways that we can work up here at the federal level to try to help this issue. This is a critical step in our fight for the health and safety of our community and our waterways. Before we wrap up for this week, I want to mention one more bill that we voted on called the CEASE Resolution, CEASE, which mandates sexual harassment prevention and response training for members of the House of Representatives and their staff. This is something that has already been a priority in my office, but I'm glad to see that the full House is adopting this practice. Every other federal employee, members of the military, they all undergo this training. I've had to undergo this training literally every single year that I was in the Army, every year that I was working under the Department of Homeland Security and other places. This is training that we went through regularly. Anybody that's working in the federal system can attest to the fact that they go through this training. Congress should never have special treatment, so it's great to see this happening through the House. We've also been hearing a lot about the practice of using taxpayer dollars to pay out sexual harassment claims. I haven't been in Congress that long, just over 11 months, so this is something that's been happening long before I got here, but one of my top priorities is always increasing transparency. So we've been digging into exactly what has been paid out and for what reasons, and so I want to give you a little bit of a report on that, on what we found out so far, and as we get more information on it, I'll try to give you more information on it, but I want everybody to be armed with the facts. So since 2013, there have been paid settlements involving what we've found to be 6 claims against members of the House-led offices. 2 of those claims include allegations of sexual discrimination, of sex discrimination, and 1 of those claims included sexual harassment. The office has paid out, that office that we're talking about, that fund, has paid out a total of $359,450. The claim for sexual harassment was for $84,000. The claim for age discrimination was for $76,000. The claim based on sex and religion discrimination was paid for $7,000. There was also a claim for disability discrimination that was for $37,000 and change, and a $5,200 claim on the basis of race and military service. There have also been, as associated with this pot of claims, millions of dollars in claims that have been paid out for relating to asbestos and relating to anthrax. Finally, there was a $150,000 claim alleging discrimination due to a veteran status. So those are all the claims that we've been able to dig up. I'm sure that there's more out there. We just haven't been able to find them all yet, but we are looking into that so that we can give everybody the full report of information that's going on with that issue. This is not what was being referenced when people are speaking about Representative John Conyers and him paying out somebody. That was a case of using the office budget that each member gets for doing things like buying supplies, paying salaries. I get an office budget. They call that the MRA. That's for making sure that there are computers here, making sure that that we have printer paper, making sure that each person gets their salary. That's what that MRA is supposed to be used for. And it is the case here that it's looking at that he used that office budget, that MRA, to pay off an accuser. So that's different than that fund that other people have been talking about. So again, trying to give clarification on what's going on there. I've been saying for a long time that if there's one thing that Congress is in desperate need of, if they need another committee on anything, it's a committee on common sense, because this place certainly lacks common sense on many different issues. The stuff that passes as acceptable and is treated as normal up here in Washington is often absurd. Taxpayer dollars absolutely should not be used to pay out these complaints, and I think it's terrible that it's happened in the past, and I'm going to work to make sure that you all get more transparency on everything that we can dig up relating this. Last bill that we voted on Friday was the Manufactured Housing Act of 2017. Now that bill, because of something that happened in Dodd-Frank, manufactured homes became very difficult to finance. This act returns affordability to financing in the manufactured home market while maintaining consumer protection. So it was a very good bill that we voted on there. I'm looking forward to getting back on Monday for hopefully a vote on moving to conference for the House and Senate tax cut bills. That's where they kind of merge the 2 bills, put them into one, and then send them back again through the House and through the Senate and send that onto the President's desk. Why is this such a good thing for the citizens of the 18th Congressional District of Florida? Well, 70% of the filers in Florida's 18th District take the standard deduction when they file their taxes. So when we go out there and say we're doubling the standard deduction, basically taking the individual deduction from $6,000 to $12,000, the head of household from $9,000 to $18,000, the filing jointly from $12,000 to $24,000. That means 70% of the people that file taxes in our area are taking that standard deduction, and that is doubling for them. That is huge for all of those people taking the standard deduction. What else is it doing? We have close to 42,000 families in our district taking child tax credits for 1, 2, 3, 4 plus children. So when we raise the child tax credit from $1,000 to $1,600, we are putting real dollars in the pockets of real families, real people in our district. I am very, very proud of that work, and I look forward to us getting that over the finish line. As always, It is an honor to represent you here in Congress. I look forward to seeing you back around town throughout the weekend. And like I said, being back up here on Monday morning. Hope you all have a great rest of your weekend and a great week next week. Take care.